Hi, I'm Kurt Vincent with the Bladen Journal, and welcome to the Saturday Show. My guest this week is Greg Taylor. He's the Executive Director of the BRAC Regional Task Force, I guess it is.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Greg, for joining us. I appreciate it.
It's good to be here.
Greg, you've seen in the Bladen Journal a story about BRAC and what the county can expect, and really there's a whole lot involved with it, and I know you're pretty much in the middle of it all.
Yes, I am.
Most people know what the base realignment closure effort means, and that 40,000 people are going to be coming to the region sometime this year and shortly beyond. But can you tell us a little bit more about what BRAC entails and what it is?
Well, the BRAC stands for Base Realignment Closure. That's a congressional committee that decides what's going to happen with our bases and how to most efficiently use those resources. Our state, whenever a BRAC commission is going on, usually has a committee that is actively out there letting people know just how much the military means to our state and just how much we do to support the military as a state. Governor Perdue led that effort this past time, and our state came out very well. Camp Lejeune grew, and Fort Bragg is growing. Fort Bragg grew with the addition of Forces Command and U.S. Army Reserve Command, which controls about $30 billion worth of contracting every year. Also has about 2,800 very good paying jobs associated with it as well.
Right. Now I understand once this is all complete, there will actually be more generals at Fort Bragg than there are at the Pentagon.
Not more than at the Pentagon, but it'll be second.
Okay.
The only place with more generals than Fort Bragg will be the Pentagon.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Bladen is one of 11 counties in the region kind of being targeted by the BRAC effort. Can you tell us in what ways this county might be affected?
Well, Bladen County is probably going to get some of the population growth related to the BRAC effort. It was really projected not to get a whole lot of that growth, but I think we may get more of that growth than we were projected to get, because those projections didn't take into account that 87 has been four-laned, and didn't take into account things like the fact that a lot of these jobs are going to be jobs that have a lot of air travel associated with them, and if you live in northern Bladen County, you're pretty close to the Fayetteville Airport.
Right.
So I think there's a possibility that that we'll get more population growth than we were projected to get, but still that's not enough population growth to where we're going to have to worry about building schools because of that population growth, that type of thing. Another factor that may come into play is the people that are moving from Atlanta are already used to rather long commute times. You can live a lot further from Fort Bragg and have the same commute time that you would have from a lot shorter distance in Atlanta.
Right.
So that may be a factor as well as far as the population growth.
Right. Now there are some in Bladen County who say that there will be minimal effect, and others say it could be substantial, and you've kind of touched on that right now. What is it that we might see as far as influx of people? Will it be for defense jobs? Will it be for residences, or both, or other things?
Well, we're of course hoping that we're going to be able to pull in some of the economic development that's going to happen as a result of the BRAC growth. We have a very aggressive economic development team here in Bladen County, and I think if they get a shot at those companies that are looking to move, I think we'll probably succeed in attracting one or two here. We have had some defense contractors here in Bladen County in the past, and I think we will have in the future. And the economic all the economic developers in all of our 11 counties get together once a month and talk about how to best take advantage of this BRAC growth that's occurring. On the recommendation of that group of economic developers, the BRAC Regional Task Force this year hired an economic development liaison whose job is to get out and try to get those companies that are out there in the defense industry focused on our area, right. Taking a closer look at the Fort Bragg region.
Okay. And anything out there that might come will be looked at as positive for Bladen County.
Oh yes. And that, where we're already seeing a lot of impact is the efforts that the BRAC Regional Task Force has had in trying to build workforce and education and economic development. We've been able to get some grants and things that are positive for all of the counties in our region. We're wrapping up right now a Working Lands Protection Plan grant. Bladen County has enacted a Working Lands Protection Plan out of that grant. And what that means is the counties that have Working Land Protection Plans are given preferential treatment in relationship to agricultural grants. In Bladen County's case, as a Tier 1 county, the match would be waived because of you have a Working Lands Protection Plan. So there's a positive for the county. We've also installed enhanced technology classroom at West Bladen. We were able to get some money for a pilot program to establish these enhanced technology classrooms in 11 counties in our region. Actually wound up being 12, but that's a very positive thing that just got stood up last April, and the schools are just getting into using it, and really exciting things going on.
Okay. Now you mentioned defense companies and the economic development that could come from this. I assume that's one of the biggest challenges for Bladen County is looking for those kind of opportunities to maybe come here.
Yes, that would be a challenge, as it is a challenge for every county.
Right.
Once the company is identified, Chuck and his team will take it on and try to rope it in and pull it into Bladen County. And the other counties will be looking to do the same.
Right. I think on the heels of that possibly is education and what this county can do with its high schools and beyond that with Bladen Community College.
Well, true. Part of our, we got a Department of Labor grant to pursue some things in the workforce and education arenas, and that's where we got the money for the enhanced technology classrooms. But those enhanced technology classrooms include a 3D capability and a distance learning capability. One of the things that was pointed out in our studies is that our workforce really isn't prepared for the kind of high-tech jobs that we want to establish. Our economic development team at the regional level has embarked several years ago when BRAC RTF first started on trying to build a defense and homeland security cluster. And we want to see more of the high-tech type defense-related jobs coming to our region, which means we need the workforce to attract those.
Right.
And that's what's spurring the efforts in the enhanced technology classrooms and the 3D. A lot of people don't realize that the second biggest conglomeration of 3D related companies in the nation is in the Research Triangle Park. The military has long been known for having the cutting edge training tools that are out there. We'd like those companies that are working with the military on that 3D training to be located in our region. And so we want to try to help get that workforce prepared so that our economic developers have that tool when they're talking to these companies.
Right. And I imagine that Darrell Page, the former president of BCC, will be heavily involved in that.
Yes, he is.
Okay,
yes,
great.
He is.
So there's a lot going on in many areas, and public and elected officials are going to be busy with all of that you just talked about. What is it that the public might be able to do as all of this takes place?
Well, one thing that I'm not really worried about with Bladen County, Bladen County has a history of being friendly people. So when these when these soldiers show up, I'm not worried about how they're going to be treated in Bladen County. And when defense companies come down and looking for places to locate, our public has always been very positive, and that has showed in previous efforts at recruiting companies over the years. So I'm confident that our public will be doing the right thing in those regards. They need to also be supporting, besides supporting the military, they need to be supporting our schools as we make the effort to try to take education to the next level technologically, and the community college as we try to prepare that workforce for these higher skilled, higher paying jobs that are coming. I'm confident that the people of Bladen County will be able to do that.
And like we talked beforehand, it'd be nice to be able to have jobs like that available to keep some of our kids home and
exactly
working
right.
at high-paying jobs.
That's exactly right.
That's great. Well, Greg, thank you very much for coming. I sure do appreciate you stopping by, and good luck with all of this.
Enjoy.
We'll be looking forward to it down the road. Thank you all for joining us on the Saturday show. You all have a good week.